He knows that he can actually get into the zone, or at least stay alive a little bit longer. And just wait for the moment that TJB is going to have to push. Remember, TJB was a team that was inside zone for a very long time, so I am going to have to question how much heals they have. And as I say that, they only have, this is the last one. After that, he's going to have to push if he wants to do anything. And I think he might have been able to see kills. No, kills does end up getting in different locations. He might be able to get them out here, and he is great awareness there by kills with 4 Illims.
Fantastic movement for them for that, but TJB goes out in 10, 4 eliminations here. Virtual Gaming Squad taking some shots to
इतना खूबसूरत इंटरनेट चल रहा है. आई एम shockers. Hello everyone.
multiple teams. You see in the distance here, Vivo and Istanbul Wildcats. Foe is the last player. They have 4 eliminations though, but not as a good game as the last one that we saw from them. This next circle has gone further north, so multiple teams have to move in and try to get in. The game's going to decide to take a car. It's a brave decision to do so. Let's see how much further they can take that.
टीम सोल की भी एलिमिनेशन हो चुकी है और टीम 52 की भी एलिमिनेशन हो चुकी है. मैं तो सिर्फ सोल और 52 को ही जानती हूँ. तुर्की से भी टीम खेल रही है IW. यार ये इतनी अटक के स्ट्रीम क्यों चल रही है? I don't understand.
They have more than 3 players live. There's only one team that has that, and it's Virtual Gaming Squad here on screen. Gaddafi are now looking what they could do for that one coming out of Libya. Able to do something more for this
क्या
one.
लगता है कौन सी टीम जीतेगी यहाँ पे यार? पता नहीं, मेरी तो स्ट्रीम बहुत ही ख़राब चल रही है. 720 पे कर देती हूँ उसको, बिकॉज ये सही चल नहीं रही. इंटरनेट इशू कर रहा है या उधर से अटक रही है, पता नहीं क्या मसला है. बट स्ट्रीम थोड़ी
gets eliminated. Wow, Gaddafi being able to get those shots there on friends, and Morph gets eliminated.
कम किया, बंद कर दिया अब तो मैंने. अभी सही है.
They slowed it down, and right now it's working out perfectly for them. And I was questioning what they were doing there with that limit they were making. He's gonna need it for cover, but instead, you have so much cover from all the rocks that are just holding.
अब सही है. IW, B2B, FLC, VK, RSG lighting. Let's see. सानों का मैच है फिलहाल. I don't know मेरी आवाज़ से आ रही है अभी कि नहीं. टीम ST है भी, ST तो है ही नहीं. ST की फ़िलहाल तो एलिमिनेशन हो चुकी है. यार ये मेरा नेट भी नहीं कैच कर पा रहा शायद इसको. नेट भी सस्ता हो रहा है शायद थोड़ा सा ना. R3, RSG, VGS, VK, FLC, B2B, IW. I don't know any of these teams. मुझे सिर्फ 52 esports और सोल का पता है. ST की तो अर्ली एलिमिनेशन हो चुकी है. सबसे पहले एलिमिनेशन ST की हुई है. आवाज़ तो सही है. गेम PMWI की वजह से आवाज़ तो सही है. ओके, आप दिन में तो लाइव नहीं आती, आज कैसे? यार PMWI दिखाना है तुम लोगों को. मेरे चैनल पे देखो मेरे साथ बैठ के. लेट्स वॉच इट टुगेदर गाइस. ओके, यहाँ पे VGS esports. ओह माय गॉड, एक और एलिमिनेशन. अच्छा, टीम ST के काफ़ी पॉइंट्स हैं. ओके, लेट्स सी कि अभी कौन सी टीम चिकन डिनर करती है. यार मुझे नहीं पता, मैं फॉलो नहीं कर रही थी इतना ज़्यादा. बट बट देन मैंने देखा तो मैंने सोचा कि मुझे भी करना चाहिए ये स्ट्रीम, बट लेट्स सी। टीम 52 कोई बात नहीं यार, इसमें बहुत प्रेशर होता है मस्त से। जो भी टीम्स यहाँ तक भी पहुँची हैं तो बहुत बड़ी बात है। और यहाँ पे चिकन डिनर आई थिंक कर लिया है टीम, आई डोंट नो किसने चिकन डिनर किया है। यहाँ पे चिकन डिनर हो चुका है, बिल्कुल देखेंगे। यस, WWCD किसने किया है? वीवो की I don't know from this which country this team is, but congratulations to that team जिन्होंने यहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा कम है like in game। अभी सही है, साथ साथ बताते जाओ ना यार, मुझे नहीं पता। ओह, मेरे तो फर्स्ट टाइम ऐसे कुछ कर रही हूँ। आई डोंट नो पाकिस्तान की फ़िलहाल के लिए कहाँ पे पोजीशन क्या चल रही है, क्योंकि आई वाज नॉट दैट मच फॉलोइंग अप, तो मुझे भी साथ साथ बताते जाओ। वॉच पार्टी ये हेलो तला खान। इसके साथ साथ शायद थोड़ा सा मुझे भी सीखने को मिलेगा कि कमेंट्री शमेंट्री कास्टिंग करते कैसे हैं, सो दैट वुड बी वेरी नाइस राइट। अभी ये आवाज़ सही है ना? इन गेम साउंड और मेरी साउंड सही आ रही है ना यार? मुझे भी साथ साथ बताते जाओ बिकॉज ओके। यहाँ पे ब्रेक हो रहा है, मुझे आवाज़ बंद कर देनी चाहिए बिकॉज ब्रेक में ना फिर गाने शाने चलेंगे मेरे पे फिर फजूल का वो लग जाएगा। सही या नाइस टू सी यू। इन गेम कम है अभी तो इनके ऐड लगेंगे, मैंने बंद कर दिया है साउंड। आपकी आवाज़ हल्की है, अभी सही है मेरी आवाज़? इन गेम कम है बहुत, अभी मैंने बंद कर दिया यार इन गेम। अभी मैंने इन गेम बंद कर दिया है क्योंकि अभी ना इनकी ऐड वैड लगेंगे तो फिर मेरे पे कॉपीराइट क्लेम आ जाएगा, सो इसलिए। यार आता है कॉपीराइट नूब। अभी जो ये गाने शाने लगेंगे ना उस पे कॉपीराइट आता है बॉट, सो इसलिए। नेक्स्ट मैच होगा इन 2 मिनट 36 सेकेंड्स, और जो मैच है वो होगा कौन सा होगा मैप? रेंगल होगा 6 नंबर पे। अभी कितने मैचेस हो गए हैं किसी को आइडिया है? 4 मैचेस हो गए आई थिंक, 5वां होगा इसके बाद मेरा मार 5वां, और 6th मैच होगा रेंगल राइट। 2 मिनट में है अभी। ये साउंड आ रही है इसकी साउंड आ रही है? ओके 52 स्पर्स यार, कोई मसला नहीं है, को होता रहता है यार। हमें अपनी टीम्स को फिर भी सपोर्ट करना चाहिए, वो यहाँ तक पहुँचे हैं ये बहुत बड़ी बात है। और मतलब ठीक है यार, इधर खेलना बहुत प्रेशर होता है आई मस्ट से। इतने प्रेशर में इतना भी खेलना बहुत ज़्यादा होता है। लाइक चाहे वो जैसे भी खेलें हमें उनको सपोर्ट करना चाहिए, ठीक है? इंशाल्लाह इंशाल्लाह। वालेकुम अस्सलाम हिटलर। Inshallah, let's watch the PMWI together, guys. Hello Luffy, how are you? मैं ठीक ठाक हूँ, आप सुनाओ your Xeno. 1 मिनट में मैच स्टार्ट हो जाएगा यार। आई होप बैक पे साउंड नहीं आ रही सॉन्ग वॉन्ग की। हेलो लूफी, हाउ आर यू? मैं ठीक ठाक हूँ, आप सुनाओ यार। जीनो, मेरी आवाज़ तो बिल्कुल सही आ रही है। 52 पाकिस्तान की टीम है। यस, पाकिस्तान की तरफ से 52 ई स्पोर्ट्स के। हम लोगों ने बहुत ट्राई की थी आई8 जा सके, बट आई8 को इतने वोट्स नहीं आए थे, तो फिर दूसरी टीम चली गई थी। आई थिंक वो कोई नेपाली टीम थी, आई डोंट रिमेंबर देयर नेम। तो हमने कोशिश बहुत की थी कि आई8 को सपोर्ट करें, बट नहीं हो सका था। बट कोई बात नहीं यार, जो भी टीम जाए वो अच्छे से परफॉर्म करे, हमारे मुल्क को रिप्रेजेंट तो कर रहे हैं ना यार। जिस तरह के हमारे ई स्पोर्ट्स के हालात चल रहे हैं, उसके हिसाब से जितना भी परफॉर्म कर रही है टीम, इट्स गुड। इस बार नहीं तो अगली बार से ही, क्यों? ठीक है ना? आज नहीं तो कल से ही, कल नहीं तो फिर कभी, जब होगा हमारी टीम्स भी बेस्ट परफॉर्मेंस देंगी। बट स्टिल नाउ जितना खेल रही हैं, उनको परफॉर्मेंस की बेस पे उनको जो है वो सपोर्ट करना चाहिए। वॉच पार्टी करेंगे टुडे।
PUBG Mobile. Make sure you guys log in, complete the missions with your friends, and you'll be able to get your hands on permanent legendary sets. So make sure you guys check that out if you have not already. Well, gentlemen, we also need to mention not only them, but Razer, a sponsor here at PMWI 2022, as they are making this event happen for us. So thank you, and a big shout out to them for making this possible, because you know what? If it wasn't for them and all the other sponsors, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here in Saudi Arabia having some insane matches to talk about. All right, so gentlemen, we have a few minutes until the next match is about to kick off. We're obviously heading back on over to Erangel, but we're going to quickly check out some Sony highlights from Sandhawk. We did have an interesting happen, I believe, between TJB and Falcons, or not Falcons, Vampire in the beginning, that actually allowed them to stay alive for a very long time.
And after the interview, I really thought that Vampire would try and avoid the situation as much as possible. But you have three teams doing the exact same thing, which is you've got Nigma Galaxy, you got yourself Vampire, and you have TJB all looting down towards that Same and Ruin's position. Some clashes are expected to happen, but they committed for so long, they lost a lot of time doing so.
That's the main problem, and we alluded to it after the interview. The fact that, I mean, even Sotani was saying that they want a heal strat on Sandhawk. Okay, yeah, then we say, okay, so how many meds can you all get from this one location? There's only so many. So I sort of didn't expect them to really avoid the fight if they want to go for the healing strat. So you can find these meds elsewhere. You can try and take some trash compounds maybe in the center of the island and then move down towards Camp Bravo and then eventually transition over.
कर दूँ 3%, 2%, चलो 3% कर दिया, भी सही है, ठीक है। अब आपकी वॉच पार्टी लेट क्यों चल रही है, मीन्स पीछे, या पता नहीं डिले होगा, आई डोंट नो क्या सीन है।
Almost that mutually assured destruction situation, but TJB is very well versed in our region, and we know that very
वैसे
well.
भी 30 to 60 seconds का डिले वैसे भी होता है ना ब्रो, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान में स्पोर्ट्स को स्पॉन्सर्स कम मिलते हैं, तभी जो अच्छा खेलता है वो ऐसा मौका छोड़ते नहीं, ये तो है, दैट इज़ ट्रू। यार पाकिस्तान में स्पोर्ट्स कम्युनिटी बहुत ही कमज़ोर है, आई मस्ट से, बट यहाँ पे मैं आपको बता दूँ कि बाकी दुनिया में स्पोर्ट्स कम्युनिटी जो ना वो चौथे नंबर पे है, लाइक ई स्पोर्ट्स की जो दुनिया है ना वो रेवेन्यू जनरेशन में चौथे नंबर पे, तो इसमें बहुत पैसा है एंड कैलिबर भी है। अगर लोग सही तरीके से हमारे सीरियस हो जाए, हमारे लोग सीरियस ही नहीं है ना, क्या किया जा सकता है, उन्हें बस रॉयल पास दे दो तो वो खुश हो जाते हैं रॉयल पास लेके, उनको इस चीज़ में इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं है। पाकिस्तान माफिया। यार मैं हैंड्स फ्री भी लगा लूँ, जरा सुनती भी लूँ ये लोग भी क्या बात कह रहे हैं। अभी मेरी आवाज़ सही है ना, और स्ट्रीम पे आवाज़ सही आ रही है ना सब? कमज़ोर नहीं माफिया है जो आगे जाने नहीं देता। यार वो तो हर चीज़ में हमारा माफिया घुसा होता है, वो तो सीन नहीं है, बट हमारी अपने जो लोग हैं उनको भी थोड़ा सोचना चाहिए इस बारे में, वो कुछ करते नहीं हैं तो।
Well, I hope you would actually.
Rahman किधर गया?
You better believe that RSG are on that upward swing, which is exactly what the desk were talking about earlier. I think, you know, just taking Sandhawk overall was a really big change for them, and a really needed change. I think
जो है वो करना कमेंट यहाँ पे बैठ के खेलना is very difficult, you know what I'm saying.
In their region, I think Kale alluded to it yesterday, saying that in their region you get a lot more points in those first two circles, so getting trash looted and then just getting going and getting some eliminations, that works really well in their region. But we know one thing that China does very well is adapt quickly, and that's what RSG is doing here, bumping themselves already up into 4th place.
Really solid performance so far on the day, but there is still a little bit further to go if they want to take that top spot currently occupied by Stalwart with that 19-point lead. We're going into map number 4 of day number 2. We are past the halfway mark now, Blank, and it's only going to get harder.
Absolutely. I think that there's teams that like Stalwart 20 points ahead.
अभी ये कस्टम रूम्स बनाओ ना, ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग इतनी वॉचिंग होती है, बट यही आप कोई इस तरह का काम करो ना, कोई वॉचिंग नहीं है, ठीक है, तो ये सीन्स होते हैं यार, अब क्या किया जा सकता है।
3 days here in PMWI, those are the things you do need to do.
अच्छा तो हमारा मैच स्टार्ट हो चुका है और रूट जो है वो सवर्नी से मिलिट्री बेस की तरफ है, और अभी जो टॉप प्लेयर्स हैं वो लाइटिंग है, एक्स-रे है एंड एक्शन है, मोस्ट एलिमिनेशंस, फ्लूक, एक्शन एंड लाइटिंग। हाईएस्ट डैमेज है 4600 का डैमेज दिया एक्शन, ओ माय गॉड, हु इज फ्रॉम एसटीई, नाइस यार, हेलो जी चाय पिलो, हेलो 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 मोहम्मद रज़ा, एंड लॉन्गेस्ट elimination top है 375 meters, oh my god, headshots मारे, lighting ने 4 and ये क्या नाम है, Ravenclaw ने मारे हैं 4 and knockouts, 24 knockouts हैं एक्शन के। भाई एक्शन is going to be a very rich guy soon or later, but भाई हर उसमें उसका नाम है, नेड एलिमिनेशंस भी एक्शन के 4 हैं, बस मैंने नेक्स्ट वीडियो एक्शन पे ही बनानी है, इसका यूट्यूब चैनल ढूंढना पड़ेगा।
This circle on the van heavy southwest, a little bit weird here.
टीम एसटी टॉप पर जा रही है #1 पे, वो नाइस यार।
Always going to mention when it goes down south, but most likely to go to the mainland, I would say. In terms of the landmass that's available, the majority of it is on that mainland, so places around that
Pakistan टर्की एक आर्मी की वजह से नहीं
quite early here.
ओए ये क्या है?
already hitting the ground. knows he needs to immediately pick up a vehicle. That might cause some problems to teams later on who might want to get some vehicles into the circle, considering this is where we finish
official
for Quarry, Primos,
स्मार्टफोन
split.
पास
No one
यार मैं
here, so
थोड़ी सी ना
Vampire's
अभी
gonna
इनकी
have
आवाज़
the
बढ़ा के
absolute
ना थोड़ी
lot
देर
of
अपने आप
it
को
here
म्यूट
to
कर
go
रही हूँ
through, John. So
because I want to
Reds
see
getting
कैसे
very
commentary
looted
करते हैं. I
up
want to
and not
learn
too far
how
from their
to
original position. I would
do
hope they move
casting
out
from
of
these
Primos
guys
just
as
a little
well.
bit, maybe take
Teams
some
है
prime
ST
time
सबसे
ground
ज़्यादा
over
टॉप है
towards
ST
the
की टीम
northern
है
side,
with
just to the south side of Quarry here. We'll have that route to try and get some
123 points.
information gathered
FLC की
and
टीम
then get going.
104 पे है.
Nick
52
McGalaxy
की
though
टीम के
unchallenged here in Pochinki.
40 points
Happy
है
days
and
for them,
सोल की
and
टीम की है
hopefully a
33
better
points
arrange
है.
going
So
forward
52
for
is
Nick
better. At
McGalaxy.
least पाकिस्तान का झंडा यहाँ पे तो थोड़ा सा ऊपर नजर आ रहा है. DWG की टीम कोरियन टीम है. 48 points है and Morph है यहाँ पे 53 points के साथ. GX है नीचे है 60 points 4R 62 points. TGB की team 63 points. USG 65, Box 67, IW 77 points. Let's support 52 Rage. Yeah, हाँ support कर दो यार अपनी team को.
In that national championship for the breakdancing, he only came second place, and I think Maxman, in terms of PUBG Mobile, he would have taken first. Looking back at the map here, though, we are checking out Enigma Galaxy in Pochinki. This is a decent landing point for them right at the beginning of the game, especially with this circle. They've got a fair, decent amount of roads to head on down. They could even stick around Pochinki for just a little bit longer, potentially even take up church position, get some nice scouting done nice early in the game here.
I don't know why, but यहाँ मैंने notice किया है कि PUBG में बहुत ज़्यादा लोगों के नाम पीका होते हैं. Why? ST top, ST की टीम top पर जा रही है. फिलहाल मैं अपने रूम में बैठती जाके आया हूँ. बहुत शुक्र है.
They have those opportunities, right? This is when you are given that sort of chance, the thing that you need to take. But with teams like Vampires waiting in the wings, with teams like TJB who have been doing some pretty good stuff here and there, I would say, coming down from North George as well, it's going to be not the easiest of tasks. Certainly always going to be pretty difficult to prove yourself in this lobby. As we're on board with Goblin, looting up on one of the North GAC compounds. Akshat currently scouting around the Everest Foothills compounds.
Heading down, but down one has actually made a very, very speedy rotate here, and this is a change they've been making quite frequently at the moment, especially even on game one today, match one, which was Erangel once again. We saw them head up towards Rozok, challenge USG out for that position. We got a heavy northern shift there, and immediately down one's on the move. Yesterday they were playing a little bit afraid for my liking. I'm so much more used to them actually playing central. So a little bit of an issue there for them, but today they're really taking matters into their own hands.
Can't quite hear what they're saying, but there's certainly a vibe. They're going for it. We're on board with Morph. Everybody having a good time here in Riyadh. Certainly I am too. I mean, I've been really enjoying this tournament so far. Certainly a lot of dynamism and a lot of changes as well day to day, which I was a big fantasy of so far in the day. Down one Kia currently. Just picking up some vehicles, getting organized for the rollout. Try and channel their inner Autobot.
Absolutely. I thought the main stage was packed yesterday, but just looking at that image there, you know, the main stage is even more packed. So really good to see the turnout here from Saudi Arabia. Everyone's coming along to cheer on their favorite teams, who I assume maybe is Team Falcons, but perhaps we have a couple more members in there who have their own individual teams that they're enjoying to watch. Just looking at our top eliminators in the lobby, you know, Lightning from RSG currently topping the boards at the moment today with 12 eliminations total, 600 damage ahead of second place Action with only 9 elims today. I say only, it's quite a bit, but he's on 800 damage total, so very, very well done to Lightning from RSG, doing really the lion's shares of the work, and today he is bringing the thunder.
Just saw Ravenclaw pop out his front right tyre.
Okay.
I don't know quite why he would have done that. I was thinking, oh, maybe he's got the back right tyre that's down, but not entirely sure what's going on there. But you know what? Ravenclaw's a smarter man than me, certainly, in a lot of these games.
Yeah, well, what he knows is that he's on the ferry pier right now, right? If he wants to go left, he's going to go right into the water. Shoots out the front right tyre. means the car is now steering off to the right-hand side. There's no way he can go into the water now. It's a next level play.
That's incredible. He's seeing the future in a way that I just can't, right? He's seeing 100 steps ahead.
That's right.
I'm only at 36 about right now. So.
He sees thin sheets of time slowly coalescing into an edge. He sees the time knife.
That's so deep. So true. So true, so deep.
Oh, dear me.
That's going to,
Yeah, let's see.
That's going to be on your gravestone, I think.
You reckon? My quote about,
absolutely.
About our boy Ravenclaw. But yeah, so this is actually a decent position for them regardless here in Primorsk. A decent place to start from. We talked about this nice and early on. A lot of these other teams potentially out of the way. Tongjiabao heading back towards that prolific North George spot. That's where they started to see a lot more success over on EU. So hopefully this is something that we can continue to see on our angle. They have been a real pain for a lot of these other teams when it comes to rotating. Specifically Vampire Esports, but this game, the tables are flips. It is TJB who have to come to Vampire Esports.
The shoe is on the other turntable, as I hear.
That's right. I don't know who put it there, but it's there now.
It's spinning around. The next circle is going to decide a lot of the pace of this next game plan as it comes up. It will decide if we get that military base shift or back up to that mainland. We'll see where this one pops. It's about to come through, as you can see that on your screens. Going to be deciding the pace of these next couple of minutes of gameplay.
Drop the gun here. It's not quite there yet, but we'll wait for it to shift through. We have had a lot of hard shifts, so southeast hard shift could be very, very interesting. It's something I imagine that Stalwart would be loving to see here. Aton Esports currently holding out that bridge on the eastern side. You can see that on your screens. Though they are flanked by back-to-back. We do get pretty, I would say this is technically central circle here, considering we're pulling away from that water back onto the mainland. So Stalwart do need to now start thinking about how they want to approach this. Now, they could easily rotate down towards the Wildcats, but they've refused to do that in earlier games. So this eastern rotate for them past farm is going to be a little bit more simple for them, though they will run into this wall of teams.
Aton trying to take shots over towards back-to-back and ostensibly succeeding in their endeavour. J7 already going down, getting flushed out.
आवाज़ बहुत थोड़ी है किस चीज़ की यार मैंने खुद कम की हुई आवाज़ मैं खुद बोल रही हूँ
not ideal. Team Seoul, in the meantime, they started Gatket. They moved down to the ridgeline. It's got a lot of trees, a lot of hills, a lot of cover. So they're on the south side of this central cluster of teams right now. And to be honest, I think that's the right decision for them. I really like that area. I've talked about it a lot whenever I've seen these sorts of circles. I think it's got a lot of opportunity to move away from, and I think it's got a lot of nice cover and nice
action knock 2 players. Nice यार ST action को के ना इंस्टा check करना पड़ेगा. He's a very
taking a couple of knocks their way, so they're already, clearing the space in front of them, even if the space in front of them is around about 500 meters. But we do know that after Stalwart had Bootcamp brutally taken away from them on last Sandhawk, they're looking to lay claim to a little bit more of the landmass at the moment. Still show the rest of the lobby that they are the dominant force here in the PMWI.
Roll up the sleeves, get stuck in. They will do so on the eastern side.
He says as he literally rolls up his sleeves.
Inspiration follows real life, It's
inspiration follows yourself.
I am the inspiration.
Inspire
You're right,
yourself.
Blink. I'm glad you think I'm the inspiration. That's very nice of you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna have to hold on to that forever.
I wouldn't.
He's never gonna say something so nice to me again.
USG, I think you mentioned this actually. We were watching our angle the first match of the day, and you were talking about, they were stuck in Rozhok, and they refused to move, and that wasn't a case of they couldn't move. Maybe they were stuck behind Damwon, but Damwon just sent it all the way to the northern side, got a central compound. But this game, USG has attacked onto that, and they decided to make a quick move nice and early, waiting for Nigma Galaxy to maybe vacate just a little bit out of Pachinki. They're taking Church Hills here, so this is a decent place to be starting. RSG, Regans, they're still just trying to find a little place to call home. I believe they're in the mix of it, just above Box Gaming, right on the south coast. You can see them there, just holding on to the roadside. They've got a 2-2 split at the moment, so really striking out here. I think that confidence from a couple of the games previously has bled into their gameplay massively.
You would hope. You would certainly hope. Regan's right now, as you say, in the mix. They've got Box to the south. They've got Stalwart to the eastern side. On the north end of them, I think they've got Aton and a couple of those other teams as well to be worried about. Enigma Galaxy as well, as the map is going to close yet again in just a matter of moments. So far, not a big pop-off circle, but I imagine the next one is likely to be a little bit more dramatic.
Absolutely. And just looking at, Damwon, they've already lost one player here. So they send in, I respect that they're playing a lot less afraid here. They have lost one player, but it's not the end of the world. Specifically when you see this circle here, this is really, really important. You get the southwest shift, and just look at the amount of teams on that northeastern edge. Goodness me, yes, Damwon's lost one player, but the amount of players that are going to be lost just in this hailstorm on the northeastern side is going to be horrific, to say the least.
It's good for teams like Vampires, like Team Seoul, who are further down on that southwest side already in that ridge line that I talked about earlier. They can hold on to that and try and use that as some sanctuary. Unfortunately, the eastern side is going to get pushed on.
Regans, they've had to immediately leave that 2-2 split, come together now and try and figure out what they can do. They're looking towards the roads. They have some vehicles. This tree line is plagued very, very often, has really good sight lines over towards the road. Wildcats, not sure how long they're going to spend in this position, but I think they're just running straight past down towards Vampire Esports. Team Seoul, they've lost 2 already, so not really able to translate that early rotation from Gatka in the beginning. But Damwon, they had one down, but they were able to bring him back up again. So Damwon currently at a 4-man. This is a surprise to me, but fantastic stuff either way.
Seoul have let it slip down to 2 as well, so they have a pretty decent spot for Damwon here. Falcons losing a player on the crossing out in the open. Jumper able to see off Damar. And now the Falcons have to figure out what they're going to do based on that information. They know where another team is, and they're playing in these fields. They've just made it to a shack, and they are just going to try and hold up for the time being. With Vampire on your oversight, though, it's not going to be the most comfy of positions.
Absolutely. You do need to be very, very careful. Now Vampire, in one of these places, like the little ditches, it's quite easy to get caught out here. Luckily, there's not too many teams around them specifically because, there is a lot of open ground in this area. With so many teams watching, I think Vampire Esports can feel quite safe in their positioning for the time being. Team Falcons, though, they're being harried. A couple of teams taking shots their way, but so many teams able to make their way in. Stalwart making a long wrap over towards the northern side at the moment, but there is such a big line of field here on the eastern side that so many just want to head down towards the west. Now, the next circle could be extremely cruel, and currently teams are just trying to find a place in the circle that they can hunker down in.
They're trying to find that golden position, get a little glimmer of treasure. And if you want to get a glimmer of treasure as well, you're in luck, because from the 4th to the 13th of this month, there is a 50% off PMWI pack sale. Get a set straight away, and 5 chances to draw PMWI treasure chests as well.
And from the 14th of August through to the 15th of September, just in case you missed that previous sale, were extremely nice. There's still 16% off PMWI packs, and you get 6 chances to draw PMWI treasure chests.
Next circle comes on in down towards the bridge, which leaves Vampires in the circle again on this ridge line that we've talked about a couple of times now. The western edge, though, looking to be pushed in potentially by TJB, by Falcons, and I think that's... who else is that on the western end? That was Vivo Keyed as well.
Yeah, so Vivo Key currently in this area, TJB just barreling their way into the circle at the moment. Yet to take too many casualties, but swinging straight past Vampire Esports directly towards the Wildcats here. But Ravenclaw in the tower takes some shots down. Tink Skirt, he's out of the vehicle. The car's going skirt in its way as well.
GK first takes a tumble outside the Wildcats compound. It looks Fluketh is looking for the flush, pick up the point, take it away. Xiao trying to get away in the buggy. Lin as well running for Ferry Pier, for that area to try and get a little bit of cover, to try and stay alive. Nades from outside the window. And the crowd cheers. Falcons hold now for the moment in the shack.
Falcons really have captured the hearts of the people here in Riyadh at the moment. It's so great to see. I mean, they are just in the shack at the moment, guys. This is a mean replay to show us that.
Right,
we had
timing.
cheers for them. And now we get to see them explode. But again, they're still in the circle at the moment. Stalwart, though, living. They're on the northern edge. They still have to cross the field, so, and that is the difficulty when it comes to this circle. Down one. On the other hand, still holding strong here. You know, you're going to get bruised and battered on the way in if you try and change this gameplay very quickly. They wanted to come into today with a little bit more oomph.
Speaking of there's an auto shotty going around the side. Soul with the remaining two players clash with Nigma Galaxy. Two players alive and up and standing. Only the one for Soul right now on the top floor. It's Akshat to hold off against Freak as he pushes through. Stays alive but low HP. Info given. That's an ankle tapped as well as Lord's timer does tick down lower. Push from Ralph. The first aid not quite there. And Akshat falls. Soul eliminated.
What is that? Is that a Molotov from his own teammate? Ralph actually? No, he won't bleed out from that. He'll stay just alive long enough. Get a quick replay here. It's 52 Esports rocking up on Falcons.
Oh.
One goes down on the approach and a nade over the top. Okay.
Beautiful. What a way to stop a crash. I mean, take them down before you get there. Love to see it. Box with 3 players now. We're on board on the eastern side of the circle, next to Virtual Gaming Squad. As VGS with 4 players alive against the 3 of Box to hold this out.
Virtual Gaming Squad looking to make their way into this compound. Box, though, holding the warehouse. There are smokes available to a couple of these teams. You can see Regan's off in the distance with DD there. I think the main advantage that Vampire Esports have gotten from this particular circle, though the ditch maybe is just a little bit misleading, is they've got so much information just gathered because they haven't had to move whatsoever, whereas it's been a gauntlet for everyone else.
America's clash, Vivo keyed and back-to-back on this hillside, very, very close to one another, taking shots either which way, but it's actually the Donuts who come through, I believe. No, Stalwart, sorry, taking shots over towards Cielo. Will be able to take down one of those Vivo keyed players and give back-to-back a little bit of time to get J-Way back up to his feet.
Oh my goodness me, next circle pops and it's right on top of Reekins, and look at that, a gift from the skies, a loot box. Directly on their position. Regans really do want to translate this, and with the current scoring they've done today, they might even be able to shoot up into a third, second, or even a first if they have a very, very good game here on our angle. Stalwart, on the other hand, they're taking heavy casualties on this western edge. It's not been easy for them. They've headed up the eastern bridge, over the top side. Now they're trying to wrap in on the west. And again, the circle moves away from them.
All this group of teams on the west going to have to push in. It looks like Never Alone gets spotted. The Falcons, they're going to have to move, and I don't think Yusuf's going to have the best time. Moving forwards for these next couple of minutes, Donuts USG, 4 players alive. Damwon Kia, 4 players alive as well.
Okay, Team 52 फिर से eliminate हो चुकी है और Team Soul भी eliminate हो चुकी है. That is a bad thing. अच्छा, मेरी stream चल ही पीछे रही थी. तभी तो.
Tries to take some shots down, will get knocked in the process, and there's a coming up.
Eliminated.
It's Eve.
Wildcats. Banishment. Wildcats eliminated.
Even trade there, and they will try and keep him alive as well, having 4 players in this fight.
First week elimination भी I think DK पे I think रहेगा game.
Incredibly useful. 4 rivals down to 3, Enigma Galaxy down to 2.
Hitler यहाँ वैसे ही खामोश हो.
Enigma Galaxy just trying to keep themselves alive here, but it's the Indo team of 4 rivals really suffered so low on HP at the moment. Enigma Galaxy going to try and make their push up. This is a different Enigma Galaxy to what we saw yesterday. Fantastic stuff from them, and they're looking to take down the final players, but it is Jumper. This guy is a clutch maestro, but Ralph just spots the legs and will take out the calves.
2 versus 4 now. 2 teams remain. It is once again Regans from China starting to step up, starting to gain a little bit of traction, and we are going to be seeing them take the fight to Enigma Galaxy as Ralph goes down. Just Lord, 1 versus 4, and you've got to wonder what can be done against Regans. 11 eliminations. Well, they do lose a player. Lightning goes down. They have been found just a little bit lacking there. Lord, though, low HP, takes the fight, nade in hand. Flower has backup from his team, finds another, and there's the nade. It looked maybe like something could happen, but the Regans had it on lock.
Congratulations to the
I did not expect that from Lord there. The fact that he was able to make that happen in the last moment, he's so aggressive as well. Very different type of Enigma Galaxy than what we've seen before. Very well done.
Excellently closed out, excellently defended on their position. That compound was so brutal for all of the teams who wanted to step in there.
Goodness me, Regans though, they pull it through. Once again, another chicken dinner on the cards for them. Regans, they're not letting up, and I think this is the kind of game that could even send them up towards that first position. We'll have to find out, you know, after the break. But before we get there, quick little breakdown. Honestly, really well done to a lot of those teams. I have to admit, if you were any of those teams on the northeast edge, you know, it was just an absolute battle to get through there. A real assault course to get even into the circle at all. And even when you were in, you had to contend with all the other teams in the fields.
Yeah, no, it was really very difficult. It's what we call a bad time.
Yes, it's a very bad time.
Well, we're going to have a great time over on the desk, which we're going to hop over to after the break.
Halo, gue fans Bigetron Red Alliance. Bisa dibilang, gue rindu banget melihat mereka juara. Gue udah ngefans sama Bigetron dari awal banget mereka muncul. Melihat determinasi mereka di kompetisi, jadi salah satu faktor kenapa gue bisa suka banget sama gameplay mereka. Selain prestasi yang mereka raih di kancah dunia, mereka juga selalu bisa bikin harum nama Indonesia. Dan ini saatnya mereka membuktikan kalau DNA juara mereka masih ada. Dengan amunisi baru, gue berharap ini adalah awal kebangkitan Bigetron Red Alliance. Meskipun Zuxi tidak bisa merasakan medali emas yang diraih Luxi, di PMWI nanti, gue berharap mereka bisa angkat piala bersama lagi.
Gue yakin Kali ini kita pasti bisa.
Kalau ngomongin soal mob, bisa dibilang ini soal loyalitas. Karena gue dong support mob dari awal mereka ada. Baliknya Zai dan Frenzy, serta pemain baru lainnya, bakal bikin mob jadi tim yang akan diperhitungkan nanti. Meskipun soal prestasi, mereka tidak sementereng tim lain. Tapi gue yakin mereka bakal ada di titik sana nantinya. Revolusi yang dilakukan mob adalah salah satu pergerakan yang sangat menarik perhatian gue. Di PMWI nanti bakal jadi panggung pertama dan pembuktian mob yang baru. Sudah saatnya mob bangkit dan jadi tim yang diperhitungkan di kancah dunia.
Dua tim Indonesia sudah mendapatkan winner chicken dinner. Sabar, pelan aja, pelan-pelan, jangan ngegas. Smoke setup. Kali ini di depan ribuan penonton, gue buktiin gue bisa juara dan mengharumkan nama bangsa Indonesia.
Progress is a race that has no end. After every finish line, another challenge awaits. How can we continue to push innovation in a sport at the forefront of technology? This is how. Discover how Aramco and the Aston Martin Formula One team aim to meet Formula One's sustainable fuel targets. Aramco, powered by How.
Hello everyone, welcome back to PMWI 2022. And remind you guys once again, you can play to win with the Sony Xperia 1.4, made in collaboration with professional esports players, so you guys can have your best performance when it comes to playing. Here's some PUBG Mobile, which fun enough is actually official smartphone partner as well of PUBG Mobile. I'm Jason Kaplan, your host. We're gonna bring our analysts once again yet in as we have our fourth match done of the day, gentlemen. We're gonna be heading into match 5 in a little bit of time. We finally have some time to talk, to relax, to kind of recap what's happened throughout the day, but we're going to start things off by taking a look at our STC match rankings, so you get an idea of how many points the teams did score here in this last match.
Yes, already.
What's wrong, Max? What's wrong, Max? Why are you laughing?
Okay, no, it's fine. You can see on camera as well. Yeah, RSG would actually get himself their second chicken dinner here. The first team to actually get himself 2 chicken dinners today.
It's huge.
It's huge for them actually because, like, as you already mentioned a few times, right, they are having to make some really big changes from the PL into this tournament. And really taking that Longwood control with that, what was it, a 1-2-1 split. They had so much information coming their way, really gatekeeping all the teams from the south. Like, this is RSG in their key environment and really were able to perform.
I mean, RSG are becoming unhinged, almost even unbuttoned here. I mean, 27 points, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, they're going to burst out of control here, I think, when it comes to today. We have the 2 chicken dinners coming their way. I mean, they already burst from yesterday into today, effectively. If you think about how we saw them playing things yesterday, they really did look a little bit lackluster, a little bit out, almost to a certain degree out of their depth. but it really feels like they walked away from yesterday with things that they wanted to kind of adjust, slightly improve, tweak the knobs just a little bit. And then from that point onwards, you know, the VOD review must have come in here for them. 27 points, another big heavy hitter on the board. RSG's coming for some of those top spots.
I feel like I called them out at the start of the day as well, if I'm not mistaken, saying they're just really not living up to expectations when it comes to Chinese teams. They're like, you know what, Jason Kaplan, Jay Kaplan over on Instagram, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Right.
Yeah, I think you called out a lot of the teams actually that did struggle yesterday, right? You said you can't have 2 bad days, and actually that's why we're seeing teams like Wildcats also that has once again got like a double-digit game once more. Like the Wildcats have really been able to find like some really good presence, and their aggressive nature in particular. I would love to see like their player stats later on and how they've been performing individually, because the entire team makes it really fun the game. And I think that here they found like their groove, and if they can stay on this stance, there's a chance they could potentially get into the top 5.
Yeah, and you know what? Games do become easier when you have a sponsor like MasterCard here backing the G8 and PMWI 2022. So big shout out to them to make sure this event is happening for all of you to enjoy at home. But we're enjoying it the most because we're here at the event. We're with the lads. We're sitting here having a great time getting to watch the matches. And the players, well, at least some of them are having a great time here. If you're doing well, you're probably having a fantastic time. But let's actually take a look at our Sony highlights here and maybe start to break down maybe some of the fights or talk about some of our highlights as well in this last match, because Reagan's is on a tear today. Question is, can a team stop him?
True. Rough circle to work with. Barriers that you have to deal with. Longwoods, you've already mentioned it. Regan's actually had themselves that 1-2-1 split across it. Likewise, aside from that, once that circle shifts, you saw a lot of teams migrate down to the southeast beyond Ferry Pier to try and gain themselves some kind of hold on a position to play from, because gas station's not too bad to play from. It's a nice path in towards those Longwoods, but then even beyond that, you've got the road down there, then you've got the beach. You can't really be playing those areas. So even though you get that circle shift come along, it's actually sealing off a lot of area people can play.
Yeah, and you can even see the fight that RSG took versus Virtual Gaming Squad, right? They were just making sure we clear all the teams from the southern edge away from Longwood. Once you've done that, your only focus is that compound ahead of you, and you can just go for the push. I think Flower C got a little bit scared at the end. They just pushed on one of the players with a molly in hand. That's a weird interaction, but they still came on top at the end.
I feel like I heard the little Metal Gear Solid bling as he comes around the corner with no weapon in hand. What am I going to do? He's right there. So he did a little shimmy backwards. Tough.
I don't know what you two are doing today. I don't know. Like, did you guys have a lot of coffee? Because you got both of you dancing on here.
I'm excited. He's excited. Come on, Jason.
You know, I'm excited about
the next sponsor.
I am excited about the next sponsor. Thank you so much for queuing me on this
one.
Problem.
No
a big
problem.
shout out to Saudi Bank as well. Another. You know what? We could make that happen. Maxman, we're going to have you do all the sponsor callouts from now on. Thank you so much for volunteering for that one. But thank you again, obviously, to Saudi Bank for making this one happen. You guys at home, we still have another event happening for you guys where you can change your profile picture, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, to your favorite team. And make sure you guys go post on the official channels here for PUBG Mobile Esports, and you have a chance to win some sweet prizes, maybe even a phone. I'm not going to say how many are being given out, but hopefully I can get one. Maybe one of these. Actually, there are 4 of them. There's 3 of us. Rock, paper, scissors, we get the 4th. Not now. Not now. Because what we want to talk about. This segment is all about us. We want to talk about quite a few different things. The first one we're going to be talking about is Reagan's gaming yesterday versus today and their change up in performance. Let's get that on your guys' screen so you get an idea of how much better they've been able to improve. So this is obviously the left-hand side from day 1 from 6 matches. They played only 4, and they're at 5,000 matches, and they're almost up there on eliminations.
I think the important thing to take away from this is less so in terms of the damage. Obviously, you know, as those 2 games will develop from here point on out, they could quite easily, as I say, surpass that based on the fact 6 versus 4. But the fact that the healing is quite considerably lower overall at this point in time, it feels like they're taking fights, they're taking them fast, efficiently, and effectively. You saw that on Sandhawk when they were able to absolutely decimate Stalwart early. By the way, still number 1. And overall, every time we're seeing RSG rolling into these fights, they're executing them very quick.
Yeah, I have the impression that when you look at day 1 for RSG, you could see it as almost like a scrim technically, because now they had some VOD content to look back onto. They also had time to try it versus the teams and have a good idea of how the lobby was going to play out. So that first day was great for them to get the information. Now they're using that information and applying it to get those 2 wins today, and I think they're going to keep speeding up the process.
Yeah. We still have a couple of other teams we wanted to touch on. Damwon Kia. Again, we saw them in 3rd place at saw them win PMGC East League. We were expecting a lot out of them, and we were unfortunately left with a lot to be desired after day 1. But look at this. They've already surpassed themselves in eliminations and damage in these 4 matches.
did they heal on Sandhawk yesterday and not heal this time? That's what those numbers look like.
But I have the impression for Damwon in particular, even though they are trying to speed up their rotations, they just can't get access to their positions. Like they're trying to get there, but they just lose players mid-rotation. That's what 18-team lobby does, right? You just can't get to a position you really have to rotate for to have your 4-man crew.
They've been moving faster today, though, right, as a whole. Like, we've watched them move faster today. That has kind of translated into a little bit of extra damage, even across the 4 games compared to the 6. That's translated into a few more eliminations as well. But we, and I'm sure you agree with this, we believe Damwon here to be a slow and steady team across a long-form tournament, not necessarily one of these sprints where you really have to be on the point very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. I think that we really saw during the League East of PMGC last year, right, that they struggled initially, but then every week they would just do better and better. The average points would keep increasing. Then you had, of course, the final week. They would win it and go right into the finals. So I think that this is maybe not where they excel, but we could be surprised. There's still some room for improvements for them, and we still have, like, pretty much a little bit less than half of the tournament going on here.
All right, well, we do have our 5th match almost ready to go. You can see Miramar being loaded up on the players' phones. We have 50 seconds until we get underway with this one, so it's going to be exciting to see if some teams will continue to perform well here, like Reagan's, who've been able to get themselves 2 wins on the day. Just imagine a world that exists. If they get themselves a 3rd, I think James and Max might have to rethink about Stalwart being the top dog here in the lobby. But speaking of top dogs, we got to bring in our commentators with John Allen and Blink.
You hear that? We're top dogs. Thank you very much, Jason. I'm just being complimented every single game. I'm enjoying this. I'm having a good time. Blanky, you having a good time?
I'm having a good time. I'm here. I'm having a good time. RSG, 106 points. They're having a beautiful time currently today. 106 points, just behind Team Falcons of 108, but Stalwart still looking strong at the top, 125 points. Only 23 points, only 3 points more than their previous game. 23 points. That would have been a good game on our angle. Unfortunately, they just were not able to weather the storm. They did come from a very difficult location, though, but here on Miramar, there's a lot more space to be working with, and the playing path, you can't see it yet, but I'll tell you right now, it's relatively kind.
It's slap bang down the middle, right? All the way from south middle. There's no real landmarks, or no settlements certainly over there. I guess the east end of Los Chicos Islands, all the way up to La Cobreria, just a little bit further east of it. Slap bang down the middle of the Miramar map, as we will split it in 2. The plane into the sky once more. It's Miramar, game 5.
You know, today, Lightning has achieved 17 eliminations, and also from last game going from 1,800 to 2,800 damage total. Almost 2,900, so it's almost a 1,100 damage game, last one for Lightning himself. So Regan's, you know, I don't want to say they're relying on him, because I do think the rest of the team was doing some really, really good stuff. But you can see Lightning's now only 3 elims behind Action with 27. So Stalwart, I think this is a game where, you know, they would love to really get moving, because this is a game where Regans could technically make the catch-up.
Double pump the clutch, shift that gear, get on up in their racing form. That's what you want to see.
Yeah.
No more slow and steady, as James said. It's the sprint.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, this is the point where, you know, you're past halfway. Really, you can start to see that finish line off in the distance. You know, it's coming into view. You're looking behind you, you're trying to see if anyone's tailgating you, or if anyone's on the side. And you've got to make that fast sprint. But at this point in time, it's the question of which teams still have that breath to keep going. Who still has that absolute gumption to make it to the end?
That's right. I mean, if anyone knows about getting into gear, it's going to be Kylaris, isn't it? You know?
Oh, yeah.
I heard, you know, he was the 200cc Bradford go-kart champion.
He was, actually. You know, that was I come from the same area as him, and that is a famed notion. You know, they actually have it up in the local go-karting arena. He's right at the top. There's a little sticker with his name on it, and no one has yet to beat his record.
And whenever he goes back home to Bradford, back to his hometown, he can't move for being stopped. Everyone's like, 1998.
Yeah.
Champion.
People are absolutely going wild about them. As the same with Falcons, Stalwart, as well as Regans today. All these teams absolutely going hog wild. They are making it happen, and I think that this is what needs to happen for them. I would say for Stalwart Esports, it is a case where their consistency has been really their highlight points, and, you know, for other teams like Regans who have really come in today looking extremely strong, you know, the big question for them is, can they continue that into tomorrow, or even for the last 2 matches of today? Because if we know anything about Stalwart, is that they are just steady pumping those points into the mainstream. So we'll see what they can get done. On our screen, though, we do have the PMWI Watch Together. You need to complete some daily missions to earn those points in the first place. But once you have enough of those points accumulated, tap on the rewards icon to claim the corresponding reward.
You can participate in the event solo or team up with other players. Both are totally fine, but a team up could get the reward a little bit easier.
That's absolutely right. And for the live stream going on, you know, we do have an offline event here, so we've got everyone here at the event. But if you're at home watching us, if we reach 100 million live watching, then everyone can get items in the 2022 PMWI Lucky Crate, and that is a maximum of 1 award per user, and I'm sure we can make that happen.
Yeah, so make sure you visit the in-game 2022 PMWI Watch Together area. And the event every day will be on from the 11th. Of course, it's now 2 days into the event. We're on our 2nd day. You can check out all the information there in-game.
We can still make it. Box in Picado. Box currently in Picado at the moment.
I'm going to make it.
He's going to make it. TJB currently just trying to loot around the outskirts of Picado with Vivo keyed up towards Power Grid. Just looking down, Stalwart just underneath Hacienda del Patron. You know, they do like to hit up Power Grid from time to time, but San Martin also a viable position for that team. But this is relatively central for them. They also have a lot of this ridge line to play around with, get a lot of information early. We've seen them send players up onto the top of mountains, in fact, to scout downwards, and they've had a lot of success with that. There are teams like a Virtual Gaming Squad currently down in Puerto Paraíso, just playing, splashing on the beach side, as well as 52 Esports coming up from prison. These 2 teams are a little bit out of the way, but I'm sure they'll be able to make their way in.
TJB, Shao takes a little bit of damage. Box jousting out towards them. But the tilt will have to be reset back towards one another. They aren't going to find the knocks just yet. And of course, it's early doors, so still picking up with those weapons, still picking up those meds to make sure they're at full force. Although that was a level 3 helmet, I think a med kit as well being popped. That's a lot of loot.
Yeah, I think the medkit's being popped here just because, you know, I think with players like TJB being so close quarters with them right now, there's no reason not to pop the medkit. They're getting prepared for the ensuing fight. TJB are right on their borders, and they don't have to move. So I think Box do absolutely need to prepare for other teams coming this way down towards Picado. Already, Vivo Keyed are to the north of them, coming into those like foothills just above Picado. So Box very much boxed in at the moment, with Regans also moving down towards their southeastern side. So, you know, Picado could be a real playground at the moment, and one where you scuff your shins and cry.
Is that what happens when you scuff your shins?
Yes, every time.
Weeping.
It's very painful.
Do you know what?
I thought you were going to call me weak instead of weeping.
That's what you said. You cried.
Yeah, I thought your weeping was not going to be weeping.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
it
was going to be weak.
Yeah. You have weak shins.
Yeah. The direction we were going was quite scary for me. I was
it's
like,
okay.
I don't want to be called weak live on air. That would be very sad.
You're not weak. You're strong for being in touch with your emotions about your shins.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, I'm not ashamed to admit it. Sometimes you fall, but the important thing, Bruce, is that you get back up.
What is that? I don't know what that's from.
Really?
Why'd you say Bruce? Who's Bruce?
Oh my God, it's okay. Anyway,
Bruce
everyone at home that did understand that reference, I respect you all, and I hope that you have a good time wearing those capes. But we do have some superheroes of our own in these lobbies. With Regans Gaming, Lightning absolutely taking things out of control at the moment, doing fantastic stuff. Xiao still just on that western side, but now Tongjibao will have to start dealing with the likes of Vivo Keyed, as well as back-to-back Box have been able to, just keep quiet, keep it calm inside that compound, and now Regan's starting to move away towards more Los Leones.
Back-to-back. They're staying alive for the moment. They haven't had the best of tournaments so far, and we are beyond halfway, as we've touched on now. In 18th place, not where you want to be finishing. The point difference, though, towards the bottom of the table's surmountable. 3 points up towards Aton Esports. Another extra 1 point above that is Team Seoul. So there are places that they can ladder up. It's as well a race for top 12 to try and get invited to that after party, because there's a lot of money on the line there.
Top 6, yeah. Top 6 going through. We already have 6.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We have 6 teams already directly qualified into that after party. But 6 teams will be chosen here. So currently our 6 teams, if we ended the tournament right now, Lynn, get away. This is ambitious shots from Kadrian. But if we ended the tournament right now, it would be Nigma Galaxy, Wildcats, Vampire Esports, Regan's, Team Falcons, as well as Star Wars Esports making it their way through to the after party. On top of that, there really is a lot of money on the line in the PMWI, other than just getting through to the after party to maybe potentially earn some of that $1 million prize pool on that side. It's $2 million here in the PMWI, so a lot to play for here, John.
Absolutely. I mean, to be fair, though, the glory of being PMWI champion, I think, has to be on everyone's minds. Next circle just about to pop. We've had the first one centering around Power Grid and Picardo. We'll see where the next one falls as well. You can see the scoreboard on that left-hand side of your screens right now. 125 for Stalwart Esports, but there's that group of 3 teams just below them. Falcons, Regan's Gaming, and Vampire Esports, all very, very close. At the moment, the momentum is there for Regan's, and Team Falcons have been pulling that out consistency. I'm worried for Vampire Esports in terms of upkeep.
Yeah, this is some real chasers, but I will say that you're 100% right. Vampire Esports, they have been starting to slow here just a little bit. You know, bended knee, just tying the shoelaces once again and getting back up again and keep on running. That's what Vampire Esports need to do. And I think there was a really great question from Max at the beginning of the day on Death for Sertani, which I thought that he answered very adeptly, to be honest with you, talking about, you know, are they going to change anything on Sandhawk? And Vampire Esports, they just really didn't, and were locked in combat with the guys from TJB. Both teams suffered because of it, but it was Tongji Bao that actually made it to the circle and got themselves a few points. Vampire Esports, on the other hand, they really stagnated there on that map.
I mean, that is true, but because of the way that the healing works in Sandhawk, it was actually Vampire who lasted longer than TJB in the Sandhawk, although the TJB got a lot more elimination points for their movements.
Yeah, 100%. So I do think that potentially there could be some changes made for Vampire Esports coming into tomorrow and try and get a bit of that, you know, fire back from day one, in which case their match one was just an unheard of opening here in an inter-regional tournament. So really, really well done to them. But I want to see some of the same, because Stone from the team absolutely killing it in terms of statistics at the moment, but not quite there yet. Back to back, taking some warning shots at the moment. Circle heads up towards the northern side, John.
Up to the north. Not too many teams left out in the cold blue. We've got Virtual Gaming Squad on the south side, near Chumasera, just out to the east of it at the moment. No one really nearby. You've got Aton Esports out to the west and down one Kia in Monte Nuevo. And then 52 coming up that western road. But at the moment, Nigma Galaxy clashing with back-to-back Freak. Still alive somehow. J7 goes down out in no man's land there between the two teams. The ridge line can be suppressed, and there's a timer on J7 getting back up. Modi wants the challenge, but neither player really landing too much there. Freak repositions to back up the teammate.
Mini 14 off in the distance. Modi knows he needs to be careful lest his head gets taken off there. But with the level 3 vest and helmet, you know, he's fairly healthy right now. Freak, though, coming through with the squeaky clean peaks there on his side. Freaky peaks, in fact. Lord trying to send over a nade towards the players from back-to-back. J7, like you said, on bended knee. But it is a little bit of no man land to cross here. Back-to-back certainly have the advantage in terms of that.
J-Way able to get some vengeance onto Freak. Gets the flush as well. Picking that up handedly. Lord wants to try and answer there. Throwables going on over those projectiles, trying to burn J-Way out of position. Allow him to get into those crosshairs from the teammate. Back-to-back holding their own in this fight. Just that little bit. 3 versus 3 right now. And it's even Stevens on the engagement.
Enigma Galaxy. A quick stock of where this team is, just the north side of Power Grid. Both teams very firmly in the circle. Ralph, very far behind the rest of the team, looking over towards Damwon Kia, actually, who are just the north of Ralph himself. They're looking to make their way in. Next circle shifts are extremely central with a road bisecting this one. Stalwart currently in San Martin. They're going to be chilling here, but it's TJB who've rocked up on Box, who have had to move from Picardo.
Break is taken down as TJB try and swell past their defenses. Around the headland, Tingsker able to stay alive, pops a bandage at 2. Bensu trying to hold that door frame, but the teammates are falling, and Box are down to 2 to hold. TJB with only 2 on this forefront, but backup is arriving on the sidelines. They are looking for that off angle. Can it be dismounted? There's a crucial knock from the Molotov from Bensu. Finds Tingsker, but that's the side swipe that they were looking for. Hang on a minute. No, it's coming from Virtual Gaming Squad. The spray down is good, and TJB have been handed a lifeline to get Tingsker back to his feet.
Virtual Gaming Squad have just been hovering around on this ridge side of Picardo. They didn't quite go down all the way into Picardo, just stuck around on these foothills, and it worked out very well. GK first, though. Beautiful grenade over the top, takes down Trisme and Box Gaming. They are done. TJB, though, now setting their sights over towards Virtual Gaming Squad, who are rocking up to finish the job that Box started.
Xiao Hai is behind a hay bale there. On the broadside of that warehouse. It's such a dangerous position to be in against a team that has that ridgeline. You can see what a shooting gallery it is. It's so hard to move. You need those smokes. And undercover of the SLR, a player from Virtual Gaming Squad has managed to move up. That's one shot on the breach now. As the smokes start to bloom. That's what they need to put down to be able to have a little bit of mobility, maybe even evacuate out the back. But Virtual Gaming Squad have players there as well. It's difficult.
TJB crunched here, no vehicles, but Virtual Gaming Squad still holds some buggies, so their rotations have been very, very speedy. You see Gaddafi already coming up to the side of the wall. Nade goes through. It's Xiao taking a fair bunch of damage, just has to hit another first aid kit, and they're already going into the blue here. iShot pulls the trigger.
And they will have backup as well, a 1-2 swing. Very, very nice stuff, but the spray down from Tingsker is good for 1. Looking for more, Gaddafi around the corner, and he finds another. Tingsker stays alive for TJB, potentially looking for that res as well. They're going to have to be quick about it. As Xiao crawls for cover. 2 players from Virtual Gaming Squad taken down. Tingsker holds his own. TJB going to be proud of that.
Alphalugi just sends off into the distance. Tingsker takes down both of the players. Really, really good contest there. And now GK First picks himself up a vehicle. I don't think Alphalugi spotted him just yet. He's swinging all the way round to the top side to the other player from Virtual Gaming Squad. He's getting shot by GK First here. Will he take down Alphalugi? He can't quite get out of the way, but he might be able to take down the buggy.
And not only that, he gives time to his teammates. He allows Xiao to get some healing on, but there's another off angle as well. Tingsker spotted on the hillside, and Virtual Gaming Squad are giving as good as they get.
That's Tingsker going down to the blue as well. Bled out just too many times. GK First trying to do some solo shenanigans. In the meantime, it's Regan's Gaming. Absolutely doing some very, very good work over towards Vampire Esports. Some of the players have made it ahead, though, and one player from Regan's is down on the ground. It is Flower, who will be picking up right now.
Trying to stay alive. Vampire Esports, 2 players now left. Shreps and Ravenclaw. Pretty much any duo from this squad can absolutely frag out their mines. And they are still, I believe, one of, if not the highest elimination count team. 64 elims so far before this game. Higher than everyone else right now for Vampire Esports. They have absolutely been fragging out their minds. A lot of that as well, you kind of have to remember, is that game 1 that we saw yesterday. It was 24 elims coming through from that game. That's about a third of their total kill count.
Still doing really well. Kill switch, though, runs up to the building. The Vivo Key's taken down. Will be taken out here. The rest of Vivo Key trying to move up, but it's Polo that sees the run-in, jumps out the vehicle, sends out the windshield.
There's only 1 player left for Vivo Keyed. Is Polo going to be able to hold out 1 versus 4? Vivo Keyed for Brazil trying to take down this thorn in their side. In Polo, the Lone Ranger from back-to-back. And Adrian's got him all the way on the swivel, giving them a whole do-si-do. And hopefully a dosey-dose of his own medicine as well. Adrian with the spray, it's good. Through the doorway, will be able to land it onto Polo. Unfortunately, they lose Diego, but they'll keep 3 up.
Yeah, this is really good. Be able to get both of those players back up off the floor. Virtual Gaming Squad will be still running with somewhat of a squad here.
This is a replay of the spray down from Tingsker that we saw earlier. TJB keeping things going, but they're down to 2 with one of them knocked, and that's an outside play zone knock as well. I think it's just GK first now. Going to be left in the fight for TJB after their trials that they face.
Stalwart took quite a while to move out from San Martin, but, you know, moving up to this side, there's really not a lot of good areas to hold. It's very, very much covered in ditches, little ridge lines that you can play in, but not a lot of hard cover here. So it's kind of hide and seek for a lot of these teams at the moment.
Vampire Esports, both of these players, both of these remaining players for Vampire Esports on the same bike here. I wonder what they're going for. They're going to be rotating right next to GK First, who's the Lone Ranger there. Spray downs across the way. GK First hops out, and they have to duck for cover. An immediate right shift. Nice control there coming through from Ravenclaw to try and keep them alive down the hillside. They need to move fast. A crash is going to be a death sentence. This is a death run, and he's making it work. Up over the top. They might even have to come into contact with Downward Gaming, but no. Oh, they lose momentum, and Schweppes takes a tumble. Ravenclaw laid bare on the hillside. You're not going to get away with that. Atten take him down.
Serious action movie things right there from Ravenclaw, though, with player Schweppes on the back with the Uzi in hand. That was just incredible to watch. The fact that he caught the wheels twice coming off some awkward angles. I mean, I don't often compliment PUBG Mobile players on their ability to control the motorbike, but I have to compliment Ravenclaw there. Looking at the circle, though, heading hard down towards the southwest. This is a chance now for Damwon Kia to put up some big points. Now it's time to control the circle. They did that extremely well in their region, in their PMPL 2022 Spring Finals. Question is, can they do it here in the PMWI? They've got an insane position from Sung up top side, but it's Nick McGalaxy who are cowering underneath, or at least using these guys as just a little bit of protection.
Sprays from Damwon Kia over towards Vivo Keed. We were looking a little bit at those that group of 3 teams at the start of this game, Blank. Team Falcons, Reagan's Gaming, and Vampire Esports. Vampire Esports and Reagan's Gaming have now gone down in this game, so they're not really going to be moving too far. The benchmark is going to be Team Falcon's performance to try and break away from that peloton behind Stalwart Esports and try and make that catch. Team Soul, shots over towards 4 rivals, working out.
Good stuff. Goblin actually gets the explode on the vehicle there. Will take down one of the players. Morph coming head to head with Stalwart at the moment. We do get a replay, though, from Team Falcon taking down the final member of Regan's. Check out what's happening here. Stalwart versus Morph. Nice nade. 2 players down, though, John. Just top in action. The 2 big fraggers from the team.
And Team Soul here for the third party. They spot the back of Stalwart, and they will not waste any time there. Morph pick Rocky back up, and he'll be in for round 2. Scry out in the circle. Not going to be resable here. Frenzy looking for some oversight into the buggy. Both of these players make the mad dash. Top takes a tickle. Not the tumble just yet, though.
Oh my goodness.
Races across the open land. We've seen this happen before, and we've seen how it goes. Top really in danger now. Does go down, but Action sails away and might live to fight another day.
Action so far, currently with the highest survival time coming through from Stalwart. But this is, I think, the difference between Stalwart and Regan's. Regan's, yeah, they've been given some good circles so far, and they've been able to hold in the circles, had some really good fragging power, but it's Team Soul moving up towards USG, who had to get laywayed on the road.
DBS in hand, they're trying to hold off, but it will be dismounted on a 1-for-1 trade. USG Donuts looking to hold off with the M249 around the side, but that's dispatched as well. It's another 1-for-1 trade, but there's an off angle. They find a little bit more. Goblin and Omega now, the 2 players for Team Soul, and they are going to have to try and stay alive.
Morph.
And Morph is in. Rocky strikes from the top rope, looking to try and spoil their day, and more damage pours in towards the Donuts USG squad, and they cannot weather the storm. Donuts USG eliminated.
But now Morph want to get a couple more elimination points here, potentially take on the team for Soul down the way. Morph looking for just a little bit more here. They know they need more elimination points. They've only got pretty much 1 more day to go after the next match, the final match of the day. Rocky, though, just tries to keep his teammates up in action. 52 Esports, though, it is Wildcats harassing them.
pushing through. Daku holding an angle at the back, low HP, maybe looking to pop a heal or two, no. Instead, UMP in hand, tries to stay alive, pushes in, wants to go a little bit aggressive, give him the swivel, and looks pretty good there. Actually, hang on a minute, that was... Who was that? Was that Damwon Kia coming in for the third party as well? Daku somehow stays alive. A little bit of meds, and Defoe goes down. Damwon Kia come through and take down the Wildcats as they try and push onto Daku.
Damwon just has such good sightlines here. Forest, as well as Sung, off in the distance. These two guys, two peas in a pod, honestly. They work very well together in their region. And now they're trying to control these sightlines. They'll remain on top of this mountain for as long as possible. Will Sung and Omba. Junie and Forresto looking to clear out their angles. Oh my. Oh dear.
Oh. When it works, it works. Don't question the method if the results work out. Adrian trying to hold on around the foothills of this mountain. Team Seoul, with that mad crash, pick up a whole host of elimination points. They're up to 8 now, Blank.
8 eliminations in this game with 3 players still in it. Stalwart really being the only player in their sightlines as they move along the underside of this ridge. You can see Goblin tries to take shots over towards him. He's in the smoke. It's only a matter of time here.
Action under fire in the smoke. Somehow does stay alive, but the nade is not going to be so kind. Dropping that damage in. That's a bombardment and a half, but Action still has that sliver. He's running away, looking for the challenge, but that's not going to go well. Akshat does find the mark. Morph puts a nade down and sees to try and slow Soul out, but they are going to push on up. 3 players alive, 3 players for Morph. It's found onto Zay, but not going to get that knock just yet. Putting him in that shack, though, and maybe he's going to have to stay there.
Damwon Kia start to spike out, but it's Vivo, Keed, Adrian taking down Junie here. So now they're down to just 3 players. A little bit unreasonable for Junie at the moment. If I remember correctly, he was one of the players up towards the off angles. Oh. Now Omba down, just Forest. Goodness me, Damwon Kia, it looked on set for a winner-winner chicken dinner here, but their chances have been dashed. Can they get these players back up in action? Sung, massive oversight still.
Yeah, needs to hold that position. Sung is now their only lifeline, unless they can get big reses. Soul mount the offensive. They know Damwon Kia has been shredded, and they will go 1-for-1. The trade in the back line as well. Here come Damwon Kia. This is Sung. He's spoiling everything for basically everyone. Akshat needs to get this res. They're right on the edge of the blue. Morph put a nade in the right place, and it's game over. It's curtains for Soul, and Zay might just be able to do it. That is Team Soul down.
Morph still in this one. It was pricey, but Sung has bought time for the rest of the team. It's going to be difficult for him to get down from this position, but now it all lays on the back of these players that are currently not in the greatest positions. Morph still has a shack to play around with, but it's Vivo Key, surprisingly. They get into the circle. Damwon Kia, they need to stretch back over towards Sung at the moment, but he really does need to stay alive now. He's done his best, but his job is just to live on top of this mountain.
There is no way for Vivo Key to retreat from this fight with Morph. It's coming, and they cannot stop it. Damwon Kia are going to allow it, well, should allow it to happen. See what they can pick up in terms of the pieces. Sung, once that team Morph is taken down, can just start bobbling nades into Vivo Key's lap.
Damwon rock up in the party bus here. It's defensive, and they're sending right in the charger.
They don't want to wait, it seems. They are absolutely game for it. But over the top, here comes Morph. Those sightlines being suppressed. Adrian looks for the challenge and wins it out against Junie. Gets the knock, wants the flush, but won't quite be able to find it. There's a ridgeline there for the time being, but the blue zone is encroaching. Where are Morph in this fight? Adrian has been allowed so much free reign to just shoot and take down Damwon Kia around the side as well. The MK14 rages damage in, but it's not going to be enough. There's the nade over the back, and the challenge from the DBS is good. This is the Korean specialty, the shotgun at close range.
That's right, it is the DBS Korean, and they're coming in clutch with that one. You're loving to see the meta from that region sneak into the inter-regional dynamic. Now it's Morph, Frenzy.
Without Sung as well, he got taken down in the meantime. It's 2 versus 2. It's an even fight here. Damwon Gaming have just come off the back of an engagement, so they might be a little bit lacking, but the health bars aren't super great for Morph either. The off angles are great, though.
Still, DBS in hand,
Oh.
going in with it. Drops around the
There it
corner.
is.
It's perfect. There's the knock. Can they find one more?
Oh, they're looking for it, and it's down one Kia to take it down. Excellent play there with the DBS. An elation from Forest. Beautiful stuff from the Korean squad.
Shotgun shells in their pockets and a chicken dinner in the other. What a good performance there from Damwon Kia. And really, really clinical in those last moments. Sung, though, even though he wasn't there in those final moments, definitely the key player from that team. Damwon Kia, goodness me, they have just been making it happen today. Yes, yesterday was not great, but, you know, they had a lot of fear yesterday. But today, they were like, we're going to face that. We're going straight towards the central of these circles. We're going to take those high priority zones, and we're going to run with it.
Yeah, on the desk, they were talking about how they didn't really see Damwon Kia as one of these big sprint team. They saw them more as these consistent, reliable squads. But that was an excellent game from them to prove that they deserve to be here in the PMWI. We'll see more from them after the break.
Greatness is in an instinct, a mind sharpened with attuned senses, awakened by what we're known for, but legacies are meant to be left behind. Why play to your limits when you can break them? Hear only victory. Forget what you know. Unleash what's next.
عايز تترجم راب؟ تعالى لي. ملوك الصين دي انا ملخصه في سطور، بس مين يقرا؟ فاهم؟ كلام الشارع ده انا هرسه. كل المجال حبايبي. بروز.
وانا كاكازوكو مصدع ايه اركي نظرة لو على الحلاوة عندي كاستر والاسم
عفرت يا عفرت، هتفضل معفرتها ولا ايه يا برو؟
انت مين يا هو ازاي ده دخل هنا يا جدعان؟
نكسر الدنيا الاول وبعدين نتكلم، نعيد من الاول.
لا مش مسجل.
اخواتي
عشان فاهمين السين، سبوتيفاي عمل لك بلاي ليست الاقوى راب مصري، تسمع ملوك السين ببلاش.
I am back for the PMWI 2022. Quick shout out here to Savvy Gaming Group to make sure this event is possible. Without our sponsors, we could not be here today, and we would have missed seeing Damwon Kia take home a chicken dinner in match number 5. I'm still your host, Jason Kaplan, with my fancy analysis, Maxmem, and Kalaris. I'm not going to keep building you up more than that. That's all you get.
We are the analysis.
We are.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because we don't need to analyze anything from that game other than the fact there was a DBS at the finals and it was doing work, and I'm so happy.
I think Dan Kia turned that winner chicken dinner into a winner chicken nuggets. Let's take a look at our STC match rankings and see how many points they did get for themselves. 25 coming in. Again, I called out Dan1 earlier on today, and they have been shining just like Reagan's, though not necessarily in this match.
Yeah, Sung was also in such a good position, right? He was just up top, that little mountain, you could call it, really, and getting all the information for the team, raining names down from down below also for a lot of the time, making sure he's clearing space for his team. And then now the 3-man split down below, moving. He was like basically like the god of the team, directing them. Like,
Sauron.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it fortifies what we were saying about Dan1 Kia for quite a while now in terms of they're a positional team, but they're also playing with the information heavily here. Having Sung there as the eye to not only be able to fire down or drop a utility on where it needs to be, just the info alone is such a important tool to have when you know, okay, this team is this far away. This team is actually underneath me at the moment. You guys need to be able to displace them, etc. It's such important play.
Such important play, and we'll probably see some of those in the highlights. But before them, we're actually be talking about Aramco, another partner here at G8, the PMWI 2022, making sure this event is possible. But let's dive into our Sony highlights. Maybe we're actually going to get a nice little shot of Sun up on top of the mountain.
Oh. Yeah, we'll see.
I want to hear sound effect for every DBS shot that goes out, Colaris.
I mean, there's only one you need, but yeah, when we get there, I'll give you some.
Actually, looking about this one, Seoul did have actually their best game so far in the tournament, right? They did get themselves... I don't remember exactly how many points they got, but they did make it relatively far, but the circle was not really to their advantage, so they did stumble a little bit towards the end. But there we go.
There it is! Oh, ka-chong, 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 ka-chong. Okay, that was just the one.
But the way he keeps switching between AKM, switch over when he closed the gap to the DBS, it was like perfectly executed.
Yeah, actually, memes aside, or memes aside, from all of this, you know, actually, you don't need all 4 members to have a full loadout in this game. Actually holding on to a DBS, it's a very powerful gun in the late game, but oftentimes a lot of people are concerned about getting to the late game to begin with, so they don't actually run it. You see, especially in South Korea, a lot of teams actually running with DBSs, some shotguns, some pumpies, etc., and things like that. And
pumpies.
The good old pumpy gun.
Oh, I love it.
And also a Saiga. But anyway, the point is the DBS, it's the best one. Take one with you.
I mean, we've seen a lot in PMPL Western Europe. We're seeing quite a bit here today, of course, and the close quarter combat, like you've been mentioning, is ridiculous. You guys at home, we still have more contests for you guys to win some different things. We have the meme contest currently still going on, where you can check out the official channels for PUBG Mobile Esports over on Instagram and Facebook. But you can also post your own memes over on your own channels, and make sure to tag Esports PUBG Mobile in whatever social media platform it's going to be. But what is going to be happening right now is we have our 6th and final match of the day just about to get underway. You can see 50 seconds on the clock. It's going to be Erangel. We've had some newcomers rise to the ranks here today. I'm really curious to see, when we do get to the overall rankings at the end of the day, if some things have shifted up here. But with about 30 seconds left, Max, prediction, who's going to win?
I want to see Vampire get back on track. Like, they've been a little bit invisible today, so Vampire's the team I want to see.
All right. Colaris?
Start what?
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to head into the final match. It's all we needed. Short and sweet out of Colaris, like he is indeed, as he steps down from his box. We're going to bring our commentators in, though, for the final match of our second day, which means we have 6 matches left to go tomorrow to decide who our winners will be, taking on that $500,000 first place prize. Not to mention the top 5 spots go into the after party showdown. We're going to throw it over to our commentators now to kick this one off. As the timer goes down to 0, John Allen and Blank, take it away.
Oh, on the money, Jason, with the timing. That is the mark of an excellent host. This guy, honestly, he just makes my life so easy.
Yeah, he's like a professional stopwatch. It is amazing. I love it. You stop being mean to him right now. You were just so nice to him. Coming across from the middle of basically North and South George, all the way through to Prison / Lipovka is the plane path. I do like to spoil the plane path for you guys at home because, you know, I like to prepare you guys. I like to prepare you guys nice and early for what's to come here in the future for the PMWI, and you can see it right now, but you can also see the points and the scoring. Team Falcons actually making a little play in here, heading up to 111 points, RSG 110, just 1 point behind. Goodness me, they're itching to grab that second place spot. But in the meantime, with that win, Dan1 Kiev shot themselves up into 6th place with 87 points.
Yeah, that's pretty good stuff. I mean, Team Falcons were 2 points ahead of Regan's Gaming in second place before that last game, so that gap has closed by 1 point. It's so close in second and third.
It's an itch they can't scratch right now.
It just seems like, yeah, they're holding on, though. They are still there for Team Falcons. Good stuff. But it is, as they're talking about, as we were talking about Vampire Esports slowing down a little bit.
Yeah, I think the desk, I think Maxman particularly wants to see Vampire Esports start to make some waves again, and I'd love to see that too, because that absolute tsunami they brought on the first day in match 1 was unbelievably good. But right now we're just not seeing the same thing. Wave though still in the top, Netherlands with 4, Action just behind him with 4 as well. That guy is basically in every single of one of these, other than this, with top taking 375 meters. But Hector from Team Soul, goodness me, 396 meters on that one. Good stuff.
Very nice. Good to be able to pick that one up. An Eastern Circle pops for us, and we are going to be heading over towards the Yasnaya Fields, towards Mansion Lipovka, if VGS are lucky.
Yeah, I mean, I think VGS are pretty happy right now. Everyone has to get their day in the limelight, and I think for VGS, this is certainly the year. Usually, their secondary drop is over towards Severny, but they've been kind of jumping around various spots on the map. But Lipovka is their primary, so being able to get here with that plane path, beautiful stuff for them. 52 Esports head up towards Stalba. Down 1. Still in app/school in USG, still holding it down in Rozhok. Now, this is one of those games where RSG could technically start to branch out just a little bit. Erangel seems to be where they have some very, very good matches of theirs. They're currently on a very heavy split. I would call this a kind of a Chinese split, to be honest with you, over towards Shelter, all the way across to where USG is currently rotating from, making a very early rotate over in Rozhok. So, you know, they're taking a lot of landmass at the moment, just going for those scouts early on. If they lose a player, though, that's when it starts to become a little bit of an issue.
A nice extra vehicle spawn there for Scry to be able to hop over to the buggy as Stalwart cross the bridge down to Novo. They will have to recross back northwards after this in just a moment. I imagine that Back-to-Back should have scouted that Stalwart are doing this. They should have seen those parachutes drop down to their south, and they might know to hold the bridge if they want to go that far, because holding the bridge is a double-edged sword. It can be good to be able to block those teams from the south, but you lose ground to the teams from the north.
Yeah, pretty much so far, Back-to-Back has never held out Stalwart on their Nova Apnoia drop, which seems to be their preferred drop pretty much all the way through, and it has been in their spring finals, and I assume in their most recent matches. They can absolutely do this over on this map as well. Nova Apnoia, they just outclass it every single time, like Kale keeps saying over on the desk. They're able to make this position work because they are so good as a team. And honestly, if you want to keep watching all these teams together with us, you can with the PMWI Watch Together, and you can complete some daily missions to earn some points. And once enough of those points are accumulated, you can tap on the rewards icon to claim the corresponding rewarding game.
You can participate in the event solo or team up with other players, both totally fine. And if you team up, it could be a little bit easier to get the reward.
And if you were very, very observant, you might have seen in the bottom left corner a little gun skin coming through, as well as an outfit here. That sale period's on through from the 4th of August through to the 13th of August. That's 50% off PMWI packs. And you get the set straight away, get a set straight away, and 5 chances to draw PMWI treasure chests.
Of course, that sale period will end on the 13th, but on the 14th until the 14th of August until the 15th of September, 16% off PMWI packs, and you get 6 chances of those to draw PMWI treasure chests.
I'm somewhat confused at what's going on here between these two teams. It's the Virtual Gaming Squad who have moved very, very quickly out of Lipovka over towards prison. DD's currently in prison, literally locked in by Virtual Gaming Squad. The rest of Regans are surrounding, but Yafoz, big off-angled here, but he's just allowed Flower C to take out one of his teammates and then maybe even get away.
He has not been set down. Look at this. It's the push down. RSG want more to do with this. Unfortunately, it's not going to go well at the start. Maybe looking for the trade on the swivel around the side. No, can't quite get it done. And that will be the M249. Just too many rounds to deal with. Lightning stays alive and lights them up beautifully. But the rest of his team, potentially not so lucky. DD able to fade away behind some cover. Yeah, Flower with no contest on the back now. It's just going to be easy pickings. One shot, wants to push up, wants to challenge DD. He knows he's around this side. DD heads up rotation back to the wall gap. Will be able to play around it as well. One shot up to the position, goes out wide, doesn't win that trade, gets over the wall with a sweet little hop, skip, and a jump, but unfortunately for him, DD too fast.
Goodness me, DD pulling the Rorschach and the prison here. Really, really well done to them with the Watchmen on the top side, just looking down out for him. Regans make short work of the Virtual Gaming squad, and now they have full control over prison over on this eastern side. They do see, I don't think they will see just yet. They may have heard Eitan Esports moving up from that eastern side up towards Lipovka.
Oh, a spin out there, but it's good for Cielo. Able to get one knock. Unfortunately, Goblin was absolutely on the turret there, and they should be able to get this res. Team Soul going 1-for-1 on knocks, but able to get that flush as well. Will slow them down, however.
I will say Goblin's been pretty effective for Team Soul at the moment. I've been very happy with him. Honestly, you know, you have a lot of long-standing names over in India, right? But I mean, Goblin has been doing some good stuff, and you know, relatively new, at least to me, as a player here on Seoul. Falcons over towards Yasnaya at the moment. More for GGG right next to them. But with this kind of circle, there is real potential for Team Falcons in second place. Remember, still not yet been taken over. Not the most amazing of days, but still points to be had, as well as that 20-pointer over on Sandhawk. So they are really reluctant to give up one of those top positions.
Bevo keyed 3 players, losing 1 to Team Soul. Moving in, they're trying to head out to the east. Currently just in the circle with Enigma Galaxy to their south. And they're going to be heading to the south side of school, south side of apartments, just north of Potato Hill as well, using that nice smooth ground to be able to pass through into this eastern block.
Stalwart at the moment, down towards Nova Noya still. What a surprise, this team really does rotate in late, and that's absolutely fine for them. Recently it's been a bit of a bother considering some of the hardships that they've had to deal with. Again though, still getting towards those top positions is fantastic stuff for Stalwart. They're continuing to keep that point scoring machine going, and that's all what it's all about. Vampire Esports rotating alongside Wildcats, who came up early from Sosnovka military base, so these dudes really do have to be careful here. Enigma Galaxy also coming down from Pachinki, but I doubt they'll be swaying into the path. But Wildcats just a little bit too fast for the guys from Vampire Esports. They're already ahead, waiting with a stake in hand.
4 players are alive for Vampire Esports, though. And the question is, what paths are they going to take once they get into this next circle? It's still going to be the first, and in a moment, the second circle ticking away at them. So their meds should be enough to sustain them for the time being. Keep them in the shade and try and truck on in.
Flower still up towards the top side. Now, he moved up to get a little bit of information just the west side of Lipovka, but on the other hand, you do have the rest of the team taking out at least 1 player in Polo, coming through from back to back. Action's still doing some ridiculous damage here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's, what is that, 700 ahead of Lightning. Very, very cool stuff coming through from Action. Love to see it. The circle went up towards Yasnaya Poliana, so those fields will be absolutely crucial to be able to get some control over.
Falcons, though, from Yasnaya, this is a really good position for them, and you all are also in a great position. Through from the 4th of August through to the 13th, all users in the region of the top 3 teams, current Team Falcons in that one, they'll have a chance to win a prize, and it's a maximum of 1 award per user. Regans, though, takes down another.
Looking to all this res as well to keep DD alive. Falcons in the middle of Yasnaya Poliana right now. Obviously getting quite a bit of home crowd support. They're going to have to fight off against Morph just to be able to survive in this location. But on the east side, they've got some decent control over a lot of these teams, trying to prevent them from gaining any ground there.
Absolutely. I think the energy here must be so fantastic for Team Falcons, right? You know, no matter what, I don't think any game can get you down with a crowd like that. Stalwart, though, finally coming into the circle. They made a speedy entrance here, currently taking some shots over towards Wildcats. I think this game is one where Stalwart really do need to pull up the socks here. This is time to make a big splash in the circle because, you know, they can only sustain themselves on those consistent points for so long. They do need to have some breakout games, especially in this 3-day format.
Wildcats do get away with it. Scry not able to land the spray on the ridgeline rotation there. 2 players for the Wildcats get away in the Dacia. Doot all the way out to the east now as they swing around the south side.
The Stalwart at least do send Wildcats back. Remember, these guys actually made their way on the western bridge very, very quickly past Vampire Esports, and somehow Stalwarts, they've leapfrogged them. Again, it's not too much of a wander up towards that eastern bridge for Stalwart from Novoribnoye, so for them, it's still pretty decent though to get into the circle. I think they understand that, you know, they can only play edge for so long. Right, and they need to get a little bit into the circle first, then they can start to really make some big things happen by clearing those edges. But clearing those edges for a straight 15 minutes hasn't really been working out for them.
Hopefully, better luck in their future. Back to back with just Kill Switch left on the squad. Has managed to get into the middle of Yasnaya Poliana.
Yeah, I just seen that as well. He is really just holding it down there, right?
He's back to back with both Morph and Falcons right now.
Absolutely, a literal rock and a hard place. Not a good place to be at the moment for him. But still, Yasnaya is one of those places where there is a huge amount of buildings around it. With our next circle coming in, we'll see if he does have to move. He really doesn't want to move. He'll be very visible from both these teams. Dead center here, you can see on the map. Damwon, though, currently holding down towards the southwest of Yasna, and they do get the circle, so this could be another great game off the back of their Miramar, which was fantastic.
And another good game for Team Seoul over at Miramar as well. Pretty decent performance they had. A lot of eliminations, survived fairly late into it as well. Picked up a couple of points. They also get the shift. So we'll see what they can do with their wedge of the circle in the moments to come. At the moment, Box Gaming look like they want to encroach onto that territory. Team Seoul are grouped up just a little bit, so if Box establish this ridgeline, create off angles, Team Seoul could really struggle.
Still, the amount of teams that have headed east in this circle, and then we get one of those crackbacks on the circle here, where it really gives you a bit of that whiplash heading over towards Rozhok here. Vampire Esports were afraid to move a little bit too far over towards the east, considering they're not seeing too many teams. And I think that's a smart decision. You don't want to move too far that way, because you can kind of understand, with the scouting that you've done, you've not seen too many other teams other than Wildcats. Most of the teams are already on that eastern side. So now they've got pick of the litter, basically holding 50% of the circle to themselves on that southwest edge. This is really good stuff, but it is going to be an absolute boxing ring. More like a wrestling ring with the amount of players that are going to be in this one on this eastern side.
Honestly, I'm thinking cage match at this point. It's not going to be pleasant.
Yeah.
That river cutting things down that lake as well. And the Yasnaya fields, goodness me, yeah, you're right. It is.
It's brutal.
Unpleasantness.
Yeah, it's real brutal here. Stalwart looked to go straight center, pick up the chair almost immediately. See what they can get done with it. I think at the moment, this is absolutely fine. I think that's a smart move from Stalwart here. They know they want to get as central as possible early in the game. I think they've been, like I said before, they've been struggling when they don't get that center. I think they have been unlucky with it, though, and it's the Stalwart's the type of team where I think that, you know, they get gifted some circles. It doesn't often happen because they're playing edge so much, but they get gifted some circles. They now have to take this approach where they send very, very central, or at least for a hot point on the map, because they're a type of team that I imagine, you know, if you have the circle to it, I don't think there's much you can do versus Stalwart.
Spray down onto the vehicle. Baton up the hill. 52 trying to hold out in the showroom. Going to have the best at luck at finding these angles just yet, but Anton not really taking this initiative because 52 Esports, they're outside of the zone, half of them anyway.
Yeah, 52 Esports have been struggling, and it's strange to see as well, considering their Stalber start, right? They do move all the way over the top side, I think, to try and avoid some of these teams, but again, central circle here, heads up towards more for rivals. This does give a little bit of a chance to Falcons, who are trying to move in from the eastern side. Kill switch, not spotted yet over in Yasnaya, still keeping it real over there. Regans, though, they've swung down south. I think they were expecting the circle to stay around this area of school and apartments. But now they'll be heading in from that southwest edge towards Vampire Esports as well as Stalwart. So 3 teams who I would say are very, very dangerous in a clash. You know, they could cause themselves some big problems.
Ralph bringing the vehicle a little bit closer. What have you seen?
Oh, sorry, Regans have just like slipped through the net here somehow, straight into the circle itself.
Well, Stalwart are in the fight of their own as Akshat pushes on in. Action is down, has been knocked. Top fragger for the team, so a real difficult situation there. Akshat rolls on in, finds another. Team Soul with their lead player at the moment doing absolute work. Akshat once more as well. Around the side, Pika looks to hold it down whilst they get the res onto Action. Damage through the window found. Looking for more as they push on in. Akshat, does he have the backup? The rest of Team Soul need to be on the back heel here. Pushing in and just in time, Goblin sends in through the door. Scry goes down. Top soon to follow. Pika on the back wall as Hector swings around wide. Pika falls. Excellent flank. Hector wants the back line, but it's Action coming through. Looking to storm back in for Team Stalwart. Omega needs to get into the fray now as Akshat once again left in a sticky spot around the bottom of the stairwell. Maybe looking to try and send this res is risky, but it looks like it might work. Action spots the push from Omega, and he's doing so much right now for the squad. Top fragger of this tournament so far, and he's got 3 players from Soul to deal with. Cannot handle the pressure, and that is Team Soul taking out Stalwart.
Goodness me, who would believe that? Team Soul takes down first place Stalwart in a surprising turn of events there. And Team Soul, after that last game on Miramar, seem to have got some of their confidence back there. Goblins still a real force to be reckoned with. Now it's Lux trying to find some nades here, John.
On towards Donuts USG. Lux takes a little lick of damage there. These foxholes are deadly for nades. If you find one in, it's like a funnel towards the teammates holding on in there. Boran knows that. He's going to pop one in, try to find these Donuts USG players. 3 of them alive.
Omikun through the smoke, though, finds Defo. Has his infrared on there. Somehow, X-Ray not able to do the same despite the name. Now we'll be looking for something just a little bit more. Heads back over towards Defo to try and pick him up. X-Ray, though, real good fragger for the team. Boran can maybe use a little bit of scouting, but it's USG making the run in.
Uh-oh, X-Ray goes down with a nice little over-the-lip push coming through, but Omikun wants to try and hold it down. Unfortunately for the Wildcats, their off angle was third-partied away by Enigma Galaxy, and that was go time. Donuts USG stay alive and take a good fight there.
This is his play from Goblin, you know. He was just darting around the house. Unfortunately, he did go down, but considering he was only 1 player before the rest of the team all rocked up into action, you know, that was some very, very good work, staying defensive for the rest of the team. And Team Soul, goodness me, great stuff from them. They'll get 5 eliminations so far. Enigma Galaxy have been tearing up as well, apparently, with 6 elims. Next circle drops. It's on top of Morph. Down Monkey here just underneath them. But Falcon, they're just in touching range of this circle. They are currently duking it out with Vivo Keed.
On the eastern side. Good news, by the way, is for Stalwart going down for Regan's Gaming, for Team Falcons, and for Vampire Esports as well. These are the 3 teams looking to try and chase down that gap. And when Stalwart have a bad game, you need to strike. At the moment, we're on board with Falcons, the home team here in Riyadh. They currently hold the Wizard Tower, popping nades and utility over towards one of the forward positions for Vivo Keed, the more northerly position.
Just boosting up here for them. Still a bit of a line, though. Difficult position to play going forward now, guys. Honestly, Morph's got a really, really good position. It's just so much field around this area. Yaz Field is so tough to play. Those hay bales, yeah, I know they may look penetrable with bullets, but they're not a lot of times. They do provide great cover, although it doesn't really look that way. Falcons looking to make their way in, currently in the Wizard Tower. It's USG sending past them. USG have been so aggressive. It has been really, really interesting to see, considering, you know, in a lot of other, like, international tournaments, Japan has been that team that you would see take the widest rotations ever. But Donuts have just been taking a lot of these fights to the enemy teams. It's really, really cool to see.
Yeah, they've been getting some pretty decent results here and there. They've been able to pick up a couple of points for their trouble. A nice little change of pace for the region. RSG, with only Lightning standing now, suffering just a little bit. We said that they want to be looking to chase down Stalwart after they went down early, but with one player left, they might just be out of the race a little bit. Oh, Blanks just pointed to something.
Yeah. They currently have 11 eliminations, yeah.
So I take that back.
Yeah, which is a good amount of points. You know, there is still potential for GZ to get up. Unfortunately, Lightning takes a nasty nade. There is another one over the top. It might just be enough, but it's too far. GZ currently crawling across, but with GK first off in the distance and Aton looking to finish the deal, they're going to be getting in the vehicle, maybe rolling back around again. GZ's definitely not getting out of this. Bruno looks towards the remaining player of Regans. With that Bison in hand. Spots GK first, though. Oh, that's such a GK first thing to do.
No way does he get that knock. He does get taken down in the meantime, but Bruno, I think that makes Bruno unresable, right?
Yeah.
They are very, very close to the edge of this circle. If Bruno can crawl in, maybe, but this zone is going to tick pretty hard. Might be almost impossible here. Center Texas spotted by Lightning, who shimmies on in, but in come 4 rivals. They're looking to play spoiler here. Regans Gaming, they want 1 or 2 more elimination points. They don't want to go down here, but they do not have a choice. And it's Sook to put the final nail in.
Yeah, down one off in the distance, still holding a pretty decent compound, but it's Morph still. That fantastic position within the fields at the moment. Kill switch finally goes down somehow. I think that was 10th place for him. Gets quite far for his trouble. Nigma Galaxy, 4 players alive in the field. 7 eliminations alongside Team Falcons, down 1 Kia, and 52 Esports, the only other teams with 4 players still in this one.
The big team at this stage in terms of upsets for the final game of the day is still Team Falcons. 4 players alive, looking to try and chase that first place. They started with an 18-point difference from behind Team Stalwart, who got 1 point, so they need 19 points or more to be able to jump on up. Of course, the tiebreaker first is chicken dinners, so at the moment Stalwart do win that, unless Falcons win this one as well.
Powerful. Moving through the smoke there, sending in, but it's Morph who's just shooting down onto the bonnet here.
Oh dear. That's not good. That's bad for business. Donuts USG go down to a little run over, a 180 swivel out the car, but Falcons take a lot of damage on their crossing. Luckily, all 4 of them stay alive. Can they weather the storm? Looking to try and pepper their back as they push on through. It looks like they might have found that cover that they were looking for. Team Soul eliminated on that south side. A pretty decent run for them, taking down tournament leaders right now, but they will not go any further.
Vampire Esports coming in, though, with some nades along the way. They're right behind Falcon Esports. They're sending some more in over towards them. Stone takes shots over towards Nigma Galaxy. Goodness me, Vampire Esports, they have been pretty silent so far. Currently running 2 players. Gets 1 a limb. Jumper spotted by Junie.
Silent but deadly, seemingly, in pretty much any situation. You need to be worried about them. And right now, the circle pushing everyone on that eastern side further in. That's gonna burn. That's gonna sting. Schweppes, how's he avoided that? That is very, very fortunate there. Junie, though, looking to maybe not make the same mistake twice. That nade, the last one, seemingly, HE. And that one's gonna land on the money. 3 points.
Really well done from Junie there. He throws a Molotov over the top. He's like, how has that guy not been burnt alive? He is purely inflammable, wearing some kind of next level tech outfit. But the grenade does more than enough. Powerful, shooting over towards Nigma Galaxy, knows there's players over there.
Putting bullets down range, suppressing Ralph's position. Should have bled out. Should have been able to pick that one up, but Ralph is playing super slow and steady. Turtling it out. Gave it a little shimmy. Hopefully that didn't give the noise cue away.
Check round.
They don't know. Please check the buggy.
Check round.
Oh, never alone. Please check the buggy. Oh, you've got to spot him. This could be so unfortunate. Okay, Powerful must see it. Okay. Crisis averted.
Goodness me. Powerful. Honestly, coming in clutch there for the team. Smartest player alive, honestly. At least on Falcons there. I mean, they'd played so well up until this point, and to not check the entire buggy, Powerful's like, I'll do it myself. Makes it happen. But yeah, another grenade on the top from Yusuf. 7 eliminations. Team Falcons really feeling it right now.
Steps up into the spray, and that's not going to be good for business. Last eliminations coming through for Falcons. They're racking up points. They're looking to challenge this top spot now, Blank. They want this first place at the end of day 2 going into the final day.
can do it, guys.
Damwon Kia still looking for the back-to-back here over from Miramar to Erangel
Oh my
now.
god,
They have all 4 players alive. Powerful is down. Is Rezable though. Never Alone instantly takes down Vaz.
Oh,
and with that, that's going to seal the deal. 20 points on the game for Team Falcons. They will be in the lead at the end of this game, but how far can they go? How much more can they push?
Damwon Kia, it's 4-4 at the moment. More between the Rocky as well as Fajar. Never Alone though, still just picking up and down. The Blues pushing them with Damar in.
Able to find the first. One player now left for Morph, looking to try and hunker down. There is a DBS in play, and we know how difficult that can be to operate around, especially in these close quarter situations. They'll know there's another player there. Junie with the off angle onto Damar is going to be able to find yet another. Not certainly over towards the back lines, but it is answered. Never Alone knocks one onto Forest.
Sent immediately back. They have the compound at the moment. Circle's not quite moved in just yet.
Oh wow,
still waiting on Junie here. Finds a shot through the window. Rocky is down. Now it's just these 2 players. Song has moved up though. Not giving really any moment for Falcons to breathe. Damwon just suffocating the enemy team despite the positioning that they're in.
The circle pops this right towards Falcons. Junie takes a lot of damage, but crucially stays up here. Stays up and kicking, can get those meds on board, can stay in. Team Falcons, 12 eliminations so far, a guaranteed 24 points on this game, and they're looking to try and take this one up further.
Falcons blessed here in Saudi Arabia with the circle coming over towards them. Now the card is on Damwon, but they are making an aggressive approach.
Right up to the wall, leading in the charge. Damwon Kia pushed through. Yusuf will not be able to find anything there. It is actually traded off by Powerful onto Sung, and another one for Powerful as well. Never Alone and Powerful in a 2 versus 2. Junie crawling up, and the off angle for Forest not going to be rezzing here. So may be rezzable if they can get back to that vehicle, but Powerful spots the push. Junie wants to take the fight with the Bison. 53 bullets in the mag, but a swing out wide. Powerful, no! He goes down, leaving only the 1 player left in the fray. Never Alone, not going to be having any backup here for the rest of the team. It's Junie close to the wall, and Forrest out wide on the back. Hits the first one, Junie gets the heal up, and the spray is good! It's Falcons to take it home, as Damwon Kia take a tumble. And what a way to close out day 2 for the home team here in Riyadh. It's Team Falcons.
Unbelievable finish there from them. Never Alone, indeed. Got the entirety of the audience and Saudi Arabia behind his back there in the final moments. Grabbing the last chicken dinner of the day, and that's potentially, I think that might be the first place for Team Falcons there, coming into day 3 of the PMWI.
That has got to feel good. That has got to feel absolutely amazing. What a way, as you say, to close out that second day. I am so ready for their performances tomorrow, see if they can carry that momentum forwards.
It looked so dire there, but regardless, honestly, Damwon just looked like a completely different team today. But Team Falcons still carrying through that massive momentum. It's beautiful to see.
Absolutely, I can see Kalaris celebrating over there as well. I'm sure he's really
He's loving it.
He's loving that. He's absolutely loving that. We didn't see that DBS come through in the compound, unfortunately, for the last play.
इंशाल्लाह मिलते हैं कल आप लोगों से कल मुलाकात होगी. टेक केयर, बाय बाय
एवरीवन.